Reading from my book Earth Divine, Adventures of an Everyday Mystic, in the chapter Divine Gifts. The setup is I had just been to a meditation breathing workshop and I had 2 days of vacation ahead of me. My cheeks glowed and a surge of power rose up through my spine, surrounded by the love and uplifting energy of the other participants, secure within the magic bubble of the Florida workshop. Instead of feeling sad about leaving, I felt the magic firmly embedded. Little did I know my ability to let go would be quickly put to the test. First thing Monday morning, I floated toward the ocean shore, still in a magic bubble. The warm sun felt glorious on my skin, and after a minor struggle with the sea breeze, my towel settled in the sand. I splashed out into the shallow waves, wearing nothing but a bathing suit and a fanny pack. Out came the cell phone, and with a click of a few buttons, I heard my friend Dina, who reported she was jealous and shivering in below 40 temperatures up north. "I'm on the beach. It's 80 degrees and I'm all blissed out," I boasted. Yet this truest of friends was happy for me nonetheless. The sea roiled, and I saw something in the muddle of water and sand. Easy as could be, my free hand dove in to snatch it up. "You won't believe it," I shouted. "A conch shell just rolled up to me like magic. I guess this manifesting stuff really works." Rarely did I ever find anything but the most common shells. I already had a beautiful, bountiful collection of various clam, oyster, and tiny nautilus shells from every shore I'd ever been to. This conch was an always yearned for treasure, its mysterious spiral shape representative of our journey through life as day by day, month by month, year by year, we slowly add on and expand our experiences to help us grow. I combed dozens of beaches, searching for the coveted shell, and never came close to finding one. I had even purchased 2 from children during a vacation in the Bahamas, and though they were beautiful specimens, the purchase served as a poor substitute for scouting them out on my own. Here, after waiting a lifetime, one had just rolled up into my hand. The last thing Dina said was, "Bring me a shell." My heart beat a little faster in anticipation of what I might find in the full 48 vacation hours that were just beginning. I put the phone back in my pouch and headed up the beach, taking in the sights and scents of my most cherished natural setting. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. The ocean breeze tugged at my ponytail until long fringes brushed the sides of my face. The sand massaged my feet and swirled around my ankles. A gull feather floated up on a wave. As I reached to scoop it up, sploosh. The contents of my pack went into the drink. In the delirium of post-retreat bliss, I had forgotten to zip it closed after putting my cell phone away, and poof, there went my magic bubble of bliss, seized by the flames of panic. I slammed back into the hostile world of thought as I watched the sundry trappings of the material world scatter every which way. How will I afford another phone? How will I contact anyone? I'd spent far too much time in this inhospitable prison, the place of worry and imagined bleak outcomes. My short-lived magic bubble had been such a blessed relief. In tandem with the doomed voyage of my things, I couldn't stop myself from withdrawing back into the dark abyss of scattered, anxious thoughts that rushed between my ears. I snatched and plucked up the contents of my pack with both hands, 2 sodden, dripping items at a time. I was in no better condition than my phone. Each of us, a chunk of driftwood, cut away from the source and pummeled by the breakers. I listened helplessly as the phone buzzed itself into oblivion. Isn't that what I did to myself? Buzz myself into exhaustion with worry? Oh no. My stomach tightened and I scrambled back to my towel and slammed my knees down to the ground. My head whirled as I laid out all the paper bills like so much wet laundry, weighting them with shoes, coins, and my dead phone to keep them from blowing away. Now the sun felt oppressive, the wind an intrusion, pain, pressure, pounding, all possible scenarios that required having a phone filled every corner of my mind, squeezing out peace. I tried to calm myself, remembering that if I needed to contact anyone, I could use the phone in the motel room. This ploy wasn't working. Every cell of my body sank heavier and heavier into the earth. A queasiness took over my solar plexus, where the lightness had been only moments before. I sat on the shore, a wrecked ship in the aftermath of my personal storm, until the bills were dry enough to put back in the pouch. No, wait. I have Dina's shell to look for. What did I just learn? Oh yeah, bliss. I forced myself to remember the breathing. I forced my lungs to move air in and out, in and out. Yesterday, this was so easy. What happened? With hours and hours ahead of me, I resolved that nothing was going to spoil this holiday. I wanted Dina's shell to be just as special as the one that tumbled into my hand only moments before. My senses sharpened. The salt air made my nose twitch. I focused in on the crash of waves and shifting sand. My feet set down determined tracks, a cat stalking her prey. Every wave held the potential of delivering a prize. This shell has to be perfect. As my skin baked and my hair tossed about like angry snakes, I plucked up random beach glass, stones, feathers, and shells, but not the shell. I was a greedy squirrel, zipping my pack after every addition. The feathers and other treasures were reduced, in my manic state, to mere objects, which I was certain would not compare to the magnificence of the ideal shell I had not yet found. Hours and hours and hours passed, countless steps, eyes scanning, oceans surging, feet pounding the sand. Oh, yeah, breathe. I stared down the hands of an imaginary stopwatch that ticked off the seconds, challenging me to not only find the perfect shell, but to find it in record time. I stooped and squatted until my muscles quivered. Still, no prize shell. Grumbles from my stomach grew louder and louder until I gave in and dragged myself to the motel for a shower and dinner. The next morning, I tried a different beach, a quieter spot with a nice buffer of trees between the beach and the rumble of passing vehicles. More suited to bliss, I decided. I marked up my allotment of sand with a towel and set off for another round of treasure hunting with the hope the new location would show me the way back to peace. Instead, I made a career out of finding a shell that I deemed to be the perfect one. Everything else faded in importance. Within the hour, my head pounded under a furrowed brow. The beautiful feathers I found here and there along the way, normally treasures in themselves, failed to penetrate the fortress of stress I perpetuated. I was so in my head that I totally forgot to allow the feather's wisdom to come through. Albert Einstein's definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. On I trudged, a maniacal she-beast who might have scared off a sea dragon. Undaunted, I joined a clutch of women knee-deep in an area akin to a boiling pot of stew. Whenever a wave rolled in, they dove and made scoops of their hands with all the seriousness of children at play. They produced shells, pieces of seaweed and trash, or nothing at all, and each time celebrated with cascades of laughter. They didn't seem to notice or care one way or another that I infringed on their hunting grounds. They just kept diving and scooping and stopping occasionally to mutually inspect someone's treasure. My whole body ached. I wanted to curl up right there in the sand for a nap, but the sun was getting away from me. Pressure mounted and my head threatened to explode from not having found the shell. A distinct voice came from the other side of the pane. Keep moving. Let it come. What was that? A sigh rushed from deep inside me. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. What did you say? I can give my shell to Dina if I don't find another one? Again, I heard the voice come from above, below, and around me. Let it come. Just let go. Of course. What had I just spent 48 hours learning? I laughed and shook my head at the irony of it all. Having to let go of my cell phone and now being urged to let go of the shell. A feeling of warmth radiated from my core and shot up out my head, a rocket of recognition. Cell phones, plans, shells, what does it matter? How amazing and wonderful to have found even one beautiful conch shell, and so quickly. Why did I need to possess it? Why did I not allow myself to just enjoy the journey instead of stressing over outcomes? The goddess of love, the divine feminine, whatever you wish to call her, snapped her fingers and waved her wand, wearing a huge, sassy grin. The instant I agreed to let go of finding another shell and let the eager rocket of awareness encircle my spirit, I got the biggest surprise of all. Within minutes, a gorgeous conch shell, a virtual twin to the first one, rolled up and landed right at my feet. I couldn't believe my eyes. She rose up out of the sea and tossed it to me. I rushed to my towel, cradling the hard-earned treasure. Poetic words poured out onto the pages of my journal. I was walking along on the edge of rebirth when Divine Mother spoke her words filled with mirth. Keep moving. Let it come. Trust the sea and the sand. Eyes open. Let go. Reach out. Take my hand. I'm leading you always through churning and calm. Just open your heart to my healing balm. Continuing my walk with these words repeating, waves bowing to shore in eternal greeting, she offered a gift as though to prove she were true. A perfect conch shell tumbled from that sacred blue. Oh, the struggle. Ah, the surrender. The power and solidity of my divinely feminine instructress became evident, an invisible force walking beside me all along the beach. She was the immense ocean who reflected dazzling light on my weakened fortress. She was the unyielding constant of the soft yet enduring earth beneath me, offering support and strength until I opened myself to her.